in one of the books, it lines out Leia's Jedi training, but it doesn't. You don't get to the end of her Jedi training. So through the sequel trilogy, you watch them, and I'm like, wait, I don't understand. Like, she went through Jedi training. Why is she still? I don't. And then in Rise of Skywalker,
they do showcase that
she
very
stopped
briefly.
Her Jedi
That's
training.
what bothered me. Very briefly, I was like,
but it was just enough to where it got my attention.
Well, I was going to say, actually, you know what? That's not fair because what they had to work with what happened to her.
Yeah.
Really hard task to do. So I'll commend them for that.
That was, I mean, Carrie Fisher had
they did the best.
She had a fucked up life. But,
that was traumatic.
She will forever be Princess Leia.
Right. Yes. And once The Last Jedi came out, I think she died right before Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
I think it was.
If I remember.
No, it was right. Like,
because she finished filming The Last Jedi.
I thought she recorded some scenes for Rise of Skywalker.
She did.
What happened? No.
I thought she did.
No, what happened was they took deleted footage from Force Awakens and Last Jedi and used that. And that's why certain scenes in that movie
you can kind of tell
something's off, which I won't ding the movie for that because that's a really hard.
My biggest thing about the Rise of Skywalker, the one thing I liked is how they wrapped up Ben's.
That's the constant for me in the sequel trilogy.
They wrapped up.
That's he throughout the first, second, and third one was.
And he did such an amazing job.
He put fantastic.
He really did.
You could tell more.
Oh, he's good.
If you look at other movies, like the Marriage Story, amazing. Is amazing. Scarlett Johansson.
I told Teresa, I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to go through that shit.
Well, then you realize divorce is expensive.
$2,000, you can buy a tiger. And you don't have to get divorced. Little sardine oil. And then we'll all be walking, that bitch Justin Marion. I saw a meme that said, it showed Carol Baskin, and it said, when you forget to put on concealer, and she had a little teardrop tattoo. For those of you that haven't
we were
talking gangs, a teardrop tattoo in certain gangs means that you killed somebody.
We just found out the other day, Carol Baskin's current husband's missing now.
See, and I've been trying to find more about that.
I swear.
No fucking
look it up. Look it up.
Pull up the interwebs. She
probably on the dark web somewhere.
That bitch, Carol Baskin.
That bitch.
But no, like going back to what we were saying.
Literally, first search I put up on Google is Carol Baskin.
So before we get way off topic, so long story short, I actually kind of like Phantom Menace. Looking back, because Darth Maul, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, Darth Maul is an amazing.
Should have been the main villain throughout that trilogy.
Yes.
They kind of fucked up by killing him, but Clone Wars kind of retroactively saved it. But anyway, Phantom Menace I like because of Darth Maul, and the soundtrack was fucking awesome. The Duel of the Fates was incredible. But Attack of the Clones, there's almost nothing I like in that movie. Man.
Yeah, Attack of the Clones
was so much.
That felt like just a clunk of a movie.
It's
like it was
awful.
So painstaking. I understand why they went through the love story of Anakin and Padme, but it was painful to get through.
Those two actors have no chemistry. The dialogue written for them was poor, and I hate saying just as much as the next guy, Anakin, but my God.
And I did say that, everybody hated Hayden Christensen in that role, but I think that was
I think that's a direction.
Job.
I was about to say, I think
we were supposed to hate him
because as other movies, he's actually not too bad.
No,
he's okay.
Decent,
he's not a great actor, but he's a likable enough dude, I guess.
So apparently he is missing, and she believes it's a homicide.
Howard?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That bitch, Carol Baskin.
But then again, it's people with magazines. So
oh yeah, you never know if that's true. But the Star Wars has spawned. I mean, the majority of people are able to tell the difference between a movie and reality.
Right.
But people really do align themselves with the Jedi or the Sith or like Scotty Hawkins I was talking about. He is all about Darth Vader and the dark side.
There's an actual religion of Jedi out there.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Somebody really did submit I don't know how you get
I've read about that
but
too.
He really did start
There's a Jedi, and I think they're trying to make a Sith. Which my big brother's all like, I'll join. I'm like, no.
So you purposely want to announce that you're a bad individual?
I'm sitting there going, I'm pretty sure that's borderline demon worshipping, so we're not going to go there.
I saw a video that was going around for a while. I think it was a few years ago They had, I think it was at Disney where they had, the characters out. There was a
Galaxy's Edge, which again can no longer go.
But this guy took his daughter up. I want to say this girl, she was probably 5 or 6, right? So her love of Star Wars probably comes from her dad,
right?
But she goes up and she meets Darth Vader, and he says something,
cool.
And then the girl just takes a knee, and submits herself to.
Oh my god!
I mean, it was just like watching Anakin just drop down to a knee, and everybody went crazy because there's this little girl. She's like, you know what?
Fuck it,
let's join the Empire.
And see, okay, since you bring that up too, that was the thing. I kind of don't like Phantom Menace, but it's not as bad as Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones is just an awful fucking movie. But Revenge of the Sith, I actually growing up, looking back and watching all the movies, Revenge of the Sith is kind of fantastic.
I think Revenge of the Sith brought more of an emotion to it.
It gave us the movie we were waiting to fucking see.
Where you actually kind of start to see the pull between Anakin and the dark side and everything else. You understand, you kind of start understanding his main focus on was he was so worried about death and everything else happening that you actually see
not only for himself but for Padme.
Yeah, that was the big goal,
that was
to save her.
And then I loved how Palpatine says you can bring someone back from the dead.
God plagueis the wise.
And then you see Rise of Skywalker, and he's fucking back, which from Force Awakens, I was like, it's Palpatine, he's back.
See, no,
you actually start to realize, oh my god, this motherfucker was right. He's actually been conjuring worship and shit in this shit.
See, I feel like, so how I feel about the prequel trilogy, where I don't like the first two, I really like the third one. In the sequel, this new trilogy, I almost feel the exact opposite. I really liked Force Awakens and Last Jedi. A lot of people don't like The Last Jedi. I really enjoyed Last Jedi.
I liked it because how they introduced Luke back then. I'm like, oh my god.
It was kind of.
I'm curious to know. I wasn't a huge fan of Luke's story in the sequel trilogy.
See, I go back and forth on it.
Not the whole story. Yeah,
I think if they went more in depth on it. I
got the gist of what,
but they just touched on it, and then he died, and you're kind of like,
but his whole, oh man, I don't know. I love the way they wrapped that up with him projecting. To me, I thought that was okay. This motherfucker,
that part
is a master jet. Yeah. That was so fucking cool, just cool shit.
Yeah,
I love that. It is different. It's weird. I understand why somebody would tell me I hate The Last Jedi. They fucked up the story. I don't like how they portrayed Luke. I don't argue it because I'm like, I actually understand your point.
Yeah.
I get it. It is different. It's weird.
And it was, I don't know, it was just another in a long line of the Jedi got defeated and they ran away and hid.
Yeah.
Everybody to.
I mean, that's what the whole prequel trilogy built up to. That's what was told in the original trilogy, and that's what kind of happened in this one too.
And now they're going to come out with, was it the Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah,
that's what
it's
supposed to be set.
That's what I'm hoping.
600 years before Phantom Menace.
Have you played the game?
It's so
oh my god,
good.
It's fantastic. Do you play games?
Yeah.
The only game PUBG. I play is PUBG.
Which I still have yet to get on with.
It's a horrible
when I played
game,
it,
but
I was about to say when I played it was on Xbox and it was so
that's where I play on Xbox. It still is.
The frame rate was 10 frames per second. I was like, I can't play this.
I think it maybe got worse.
Oh my god!
Every time they come out with a new update, they fuck something up.
Yeah, so I got on it literally. I think it was last night. I didn't get on. I just got on to see what it was like on Xbox One. Dude, whenever I glitch in the ground and couldn't fucking move, and I'm just sitting there oh shit.
The other thing that happens is we'll be playing squad games, and this happens all the time. Then you'll get in a
firefighter,
you'll be driving,
right? Yeah.
You'll be driving, or you'll be running to get in a circle, and all of a sudden your whole game will just freeze and close. You're back to the Xbox home screen.
Okay.
And whatever you were doing in the game when it closes, you're still doing. So if I'm driving with all three of my homeboys in the Jeep, if our game crashes, I'm still driving. There's just a line, and you can't jump out because you die.
Right.
You just gotta hang on for the ride.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
And it is such an awful problem. We were actually playing a couple nights ago, and we were playing a 3-man squad, just me and two of my buddies I played.
Yeah, that's the night you texted me.
We're trying to get you to play. We needed a fourth. And
I have PUBG on my Xbox.
We were doing great. We each had some kills.
PUBG on my laptop.
And all of a sudden I went, I just crashed. I was driving a buggy, luckily by myself, and my game crashed. And I said, "Oh, I crashed." And right behind me, my other buddy goes, "Oh, I just crashed," which let the other dude all by himself. And he almost ended up winning the game, actually. That was
well. I did know something. So it's glitchy as fuck on the Xbox and PS4.
On PC,
but on PC, it's like
PC,
so much better.
More optimized.
The zombie. I told you about this. I found out the PC. The zombie mode is fucking scary.
There's a zombie mode on PUBG.
Yes, it's scary as hell. I was playing with my buddy.
You got to be an elitist.
It's scary as hell.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're talking about
I'm walking around. These things are jumping up 6 feet in the air. I'm like, oh my God, they jump so high.
On the forums and stuff, a lot of people are theorizing that PUBG is kind of giving up trying to fix a lot of the errors until the new Xbox comes out. Because supposedly the new Xbox is supposed to be almost as fast as a PC.
So the Xbox Series X has a lot. I've been looking up to it too.
It's got a lot of
games. It's got a lot of the same components that a pretty good mid-range decent PC would have.
Yeah,
like as far as the graphics and the fanning, cooling, and everything. Like so,
it's got its own.
The Series X, I'm excited for it. If it hopefully doesn't get delayed.
What's really weird about PUBG, they added one of the last updates. They added a team deathmatch. And
just shoot them up.
Yeah. Like a Call of Duty style thing. Little tiny area. 8 versus 8, and that one is not glitchy like the actual game.
On the Battle Royale aspect of it.
When you think, I kind of understand why, because Battle Royale.
Well, you're putting 50 players.
You've got like
100.
100.
You got 100. You got 100 players from different
servers. Yeah, that's a lot, dude.
You got 100 players playing off different, different states, different countries. Maybe it's a lot to put in a little map.
Yeah.
And it's a small map. For a system, you can get from one point of the map to the other in like 5 minutes on a buggy. But I've done it before.
For all those working figures going on for the Xbox, even though it is a good console, that's a lot for it to move.
And Call of Duty came out with Warzone.
And I heard that was pretty good.
It's awful.
I heard it was pretty good.
Hey, here's the thing. Wrong. If you're a Call of Duty player,
it's good.
You love it.
Oh, okay. Well,
because it follows the Call of Duty. But if you're a PUBG player, and PUBG players and Call of Duty players kind of don't mix. And I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty. I can't. I don't know why. I tried. I downloaded it.
The last Call of Duty I played was literally, I think at least because I used to play Call of Duty for the stories. The story campaigns were awesome.
They're really good.
Man. I think the last good one was like World at War.
Years
ago.
My favorite Call of Duty is the Advanced Warfare with the Exo Zombies.
That one was pretty cool, but
I like the Exo Zombies.
It was a little bit, yeah.
But
the Exo Zombies.
I'm almost, and obviously people don't know, I'm a little bit older than y'all. That I didn't have video games growing up. I want to say
I had some video games growing up.
Well, I want to say when I was like 10 or 12 is when Atari got kind of big. Before that was
I had an Atari whenever Xbox 360 came out.
I never had
what was the one before Atari?
You had Nintendo 64, right?
No, that was after.
That was after?
No, Atari was before.
I remember. I think I was a teenager when the original Nintendo came out.
Oh, okay.
The first big
my grandparents bought one, but we weren't ever allowed to play it. Or if we did play, 5 minutes in, they're like, "It's dinner time. Shut it off." I just started, and nothing saved.
Yeah,
no.
If you're on World 4 of Super Mario and they
have
shut
that
off,
memory card, you're done.
Yeah, that's it. Guess what? You get to go all the way the fuck back and start all over.
I had a Nintendo, a Super Nintendo.
I had one.
And then when I was in the Army, the Nintendo 64 came out. And I bought that. We would on weekends, if we didn't have to go somewhere, we were sitting in the barracks playing Perfect Dark or GoldenEye.
I played GoldenEye. GoldenEye
was. Hall had a PlayStation.
Y'all didn't have Super Smash Brothers?
We played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh, Tony Hawk was awesome.
We would sit there and play. We'd have 5 or 6 of us. Everybody would go buy a 30-pack of beer Friday night, and we'd sit in the barracks from Friday night.
Fucking N64.
When mealtime rolled around, 2 or 3 of us would go to the chow hall and get some to-go food, bring it back to the barracks. By Sunday night, it just smelled like, because we all dip, so it just smelled like fucking wintergreen skull, beer, and B.O. But we would play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Dude, that shit
for hours and hours and hours.
Do y'all know when Tony Hawk's was a big thing, they had the skateboards you could get for the Wii?
Yeah.
Dude, I had that shit. I broke it like 3 times.
Have you ever seen the Tony Hawk, I don't know if it's Twitter or Facebook, have you ever seen his post on there? It's pretty funny. He'll say that he was going through TSA, had to show his ID. getting on a flight, and the TSA agent is like, "Oh, Tony Hawk, that's the same name as that skater," and he's like, "Yeah,
that's
it is."
me.
And then somebody will walk up to him and be like, "Oh, you look like that. You look like that Tony Hawk guy. Do you know him?" "Yeah, I've met him."
Yeah,
but I
was watching.
Is hilarious.
I was watching a video.
Tony Hawk does seem like a really cool fucking dude.
Yeah, I was watching a video on him. They said, he goes, "Yeah, everyone thinks I'm dead."